of What's Faster. Tonight for What's Faster, we've got some Kirby Star Allies races using a bunch of the friends, the Dream Friends, I think is what they're called, and it'll be really fun. But before we get to that, I want to read an announcement to you all. Games Done Quick will be returning to PAX East this year on March 23rd through 26th. Be sure to check out the speedrun stage if you're interested in watching some speedruns or playing through the gauntlet if you happen to be at PAX East this year. I'll save the rest of the announcements for later. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to one of our runners, Mr. Shasta.
Still here? You want to say any plans?
Yep. Hello. I will be running Riptide and 2, or the KDL2 trio, and Adeline and Ribbon. They are both very interesting. In fact, all four of these are really interesting sets of characters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, we flipped a coin before this, and I'm going to be going Susie first, and she'll be going Rikanku.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to say before we do this?
Best of luck.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Well, if you two are ready, go ahead and count us down whenever.
All right, sweet. I'll do that then. So, 3, 2, 1, kabam.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. So the thing with in general these guest stars is that a lot of the rooms are going to be the same or like slightly different layouts depending on the character. It all varies entirely, like due to that, really.
Yeah, for example, you'll see Susie start a room based on her home game, Planet Robobot, while I have one based on Dreamland 2 setting because of who we're using.
Yeah, Susie, if you're not familiar, is from Planet Robobot, the 2016 3DS game, the second Kirby on that. So, like, the first few rooms here are entirely from Robot.
Yeah, this one gets weird, because all of a sudden they'll just be like, here's this weird room to show up, like, how the friends work. So for the KDL2 trio, if you're on the ground, you'll use Rich. He has a fire and a stone attack. If you're in the air, you'll use 2 instead. He also has a couple attacks, the Cutter, the infamous attack from Dreamland 2 that is used throughout his run. As well as the Parasol attack, which is useful in a few areas, and kind just flops about like a Magikarp.
Sounds about right for him.
Funny enough, it's actually useful to cancel 2's Parasol attack. You can actually cancel that into a few things, and that's actually one of the more useful ones.
Now with Susie here, you see him using what's called a transporter. Essentially, if I just press A in the air, it floats him up like this. Now, the propeller itself has a hitbox, and it's very, very good for that very reason. Because I'm using it also for damage layer, too. Susie's main form of damage is just shooting her gun forever. And, like, doing it mid-air with, like, the hitbox of the transport, along with just the gun itself doing so much damage, just does tremendous amounts of damage layer. Especially with upgrades, which I haven't gotten an upgrade yet, pretty much, so I'm gonna have to explain that, but yeah.
Yeah, so the upgrades are really important. So the characters start out at like base attack and speed, but less health than normal. And the first upgrade for attack is like 80% more.
Oh, gotta do this. There we go.
So it's very important to get at least 1. Ideally, you want like 3. 3 tends to be the sweet spot for a lot of the upgrades. If they're not out of the way. Sometimes they're a little too out of the way, and it's not worth it, even for the slight bonus it gives you.
Right now I'm going through what's called the friend train. You need 3 different allies with you right here, and you just go on this little auto-scroller segment. I think there's usually like 2 or like 3 of these for each guest star. Like either a friend train or a friend circle you have to go through no matter what.
Yeah, there's 3 friend trains.
Yeah. For me, there's 2 friend circles later, which are usually shorter than the friend train itself, but that's depending on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
This first one here is usually not too bad.
Yeah. When I go over to Adeline, you will see the friend circle from my end. These 3 do not have it. Also, because of boss multipliers on health, it is more useful to dismiss the friends as soon as you don't need them most of the time. So The 3 broom hatters I made earlier in the first room, yeah, we're done with them. We needed them for the train, and that's it.
Now right there, I just use the robot armor for Susie. That's if I press down B, that should pull it out there. And now I have invisibility candy. If I do everything correctly here, I actually take the invisibility candy all the way to Wispy Woods at the end of this area here, while getting this speed upgrade, and just obliterate him immediately. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I've not gotten in a run before.
It is
but we'll
very
see.
tight timing.
Yeah, especially if getting the speed there, which you need the speed with Susie. The speed upgrades are the most important things with Susie, and that's the first one I can get in this run so far. Is the one just got a second go. And yeah, I'm missing it, and that's totally okay. I'm gonna get rid of these 3 also real fast here, because fun fact about damage in this game, you do more of it if you are not, if you don't have to worry, if you don't have any allies with you.
Yeah, which Jason's point, since I've already got through Wispy, you'll notice I just rolled into a bunch of rock, and that is because for some reason, Brick and Stone is one of the best damage sources on grounded enemies. so Rick actually has a use now.
Let's go Rick. I love Rick. He's my favorite of all of them.
He's my favorite too. I hate that he's not really useful in KDL2 at all. Unless it's Best Ended.
Unless it's the category where you only use Rick.
or
which now exists. People started running that like a bit ago with the game.
It's a fun category until you get to 4-2, and then you realize you need to do like a pixel perfect jump.
Ooh, okay, that sucks.
Oh, I thought I killed the Rocky. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, now that I have 1 speed here, I'm especially just going to be using, instead of the jet dash I've been using the whole time, I'm instead just going to be using just the teleporter, or transporter rather. The transporter goes crazy. It goes really fast. So we're going fast over here.
Yeah, the 20% extra speed, that I am not joking, that is actually the multiplier for level 1.
oh heck yeah. It makes such a big difference. Because like between using the like the side B here, like this I'm about to use, between using that and using the like the actual transport itself, like it's a big difference. Oops. Oh, I should have used this robot armor. I just realized as well too. Okay, we're doing that.
Yeah, the business suit.
Yeah, the business suit. I did this wrong.
I love
there we go.
so many attacks.
So good. If you pause in this game and like any time and like check out the moves list, a lot of them have very unique names that are like really funny.
I think the main sisters are also really interesting ones. Like you have like Electro Eclair for Zan, Lightning Lemonade.
Yeah, I love also like every single one of like Zan's attacks, like Zan's tab, for instance, like stuff like that.
And we're both on the first main boss of this one, D-D, who's a lot more buff than usual.
Yeah.
And
he's
both
jacked.
have to play different strats. Like you saw me Rick roll into it just for the first phase, and then part of the second. And I actually wait because I don't want because I do too much damage. Well, you see what happened on Chop's end, and D will actually just break the floor.
Yeah. I probably could have avoided that too if I like waited a little bit, but I didn't want a chance this time around. Just go straight for it. Still very good.
But yeah, movement-wise, like, yeah, Susie does a lot of, like, bat dashes and then the transporter later. For me, it is almost exclusively flapping Koo's wings and hoping for the best. Unless I'm in the water.
Not real much of a surprise with that one, considering it's what you do as well. And
It's just KDL2 HD at this point.
yeah, and Dreamland 2, and for the run for that, you have to just match the crap out of just the A button just to fly really fast with Koo in that one. And you want to keep Koo most of the game, so there you go.
Yeah, but
Koo's also good for movement here.
Yeah, much like KDL2, kind of super good in the water, so you'll notice he moves really fast and has a very good attack for that. It is actually his ice attack.
Ooh.
It's convenient, because that is also the main attack you use for him in speedruns.
I like to describe the Susie run here as like Kirby Flappy Bird. Because I'm kind of just like pressing A, like, and like letting go of at certain intervals and stuff. Just like you would in like Flappy Bird, I guess. Oops. Okay.
And that is the one attack that's sort of out of the way, but super worth grabbing. Because like I said, the first upgrade is usually the most important.
Absolutely, especially for some of these, like just getting the speed upgrade immediately is extremely useful. For instance, I want the speed before I get into this little room here because it's all just moving in the water. If I shoot my gun at any of these enemies here, I lose like a second as well too, just because of the end lag of it. So I ideally want to just not do that ever.
And now I wait for a very long sequence that gives me a door and just enjoy Rit just pointing upwards at the sky.
Hamster. Oh, dang it, Glunk. All right, get me in here, please.
Also, by now you've probably also seen that I'll use Rick for a lot of the mobs. That's because the fire attack tends to be a good way to clear enemies, and for some are just weak to that element, and they'll die instantly in that case. But now we're just waiting for the Donkey Kong Country segment to finish, and it just did. Did Shasha's internet cut out?
Looks like we might have some tech difficulties on Shasta's side. So if you want to go ahead and pause.
Yeah, I'm already. Yeah, I'm pausing right now.
Perfect. Chat, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're going to get this figured out and then continue our race. Go ahead and fill in for now for that half of the race. So you're still going to get half of the Kirby race. You're just also going to get a fluffy white leaf spirit creature on the other side of the screen.
It's close enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Kirby ally. I'm going to do an Ori run, sort of. I'm going to try. It's been a while, but we're going to go ahead and start this race here in just a second. So whenever you're ready, Dark Soul, you can count us down.
Yep. All right. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Oh, and now my dogs are freaking out. This is a day.
This has not been the best start to things. But yeah, hopefully Shaka's internet sorts itself out soon. Let it be known that certain internet providers are just not great.
That's all right. So anyway, if you're a friend of the show, friend of the channel, you probably are familiar with this game over here that is definitely Kirby. It's Ori and the Blind Forest. Very cute game. A lot of us here at GDQ really like it. So just like any good Metroidvania, I'm going left right now. And I'm going to go get my little friend sign, and then I can start shooting things.
Yeah, that maybe that's a character I should have learned. I should have learned Dark Meta Knight, so I could have done like the Amazing Mirror-esque thing. That's what that character's stages are like. They're very based on Amazing Mirror, so they're kind of like mazes, and that would have been more fitting. Yeah, otherwise, there really isn't much to say about what I'm doing other than what I've already been doing.
Sure, you're flopping around with a bird still, and then rolling.
For the most part. Meanwhile, see is if I know Ori well enough, more or less zipping around in some capacity.
Not yet.
Not yet, but get in there.
A little bit. Yeah, it takes a little bit to really get zippy. But I am moving to the right now. So I got Sign, which kind of is like the first ability. Sign is our little friend that we can shoot with and whatnot. Oh, jeez. And now I'm going to go and get Wall Jump, which is, pretty good for this style of game.
But yeah, since I saw that in the chat, yeah, it's pretty much internet exploded. Hopefully he is able to return. If not, maybe stick and pin in this. This probably won't be the last you see of us.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I just did my first little trick there called a ghost door. Basically, I put the keys in the door and then saved and then died, so that when I respawned, the door was just open and I didn't have to wait for the animation of the door opening. So that's pretty fun and neat. You'll see a lot of that. Ouch.
Maybe as I try to plow through everything with the friend train and hope they keep up.
Oh, I think my XP is way low. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
But yeah, it is a little disappointing. Because when I submitted this idea to Shasta, we were like, yeah, this actually sounds really cool. And then we started finding tricks because, unfortunately, if you're familiar with the Death Star mode in Star Allies, there's really the only routing that really exists is for the Mage Sisters as the fastest character. And if you're going to speedrun this, you're probably using them. So there's like nothing for any of the other Dream Friends really, other than like here's the record somebody got with them.
Yeah.
So he and I both had to kind of like route them out, actually figure out how to deal with things. So what you were seeing from both of us were kind of the result of that, and what you're seeing now is, well, still the result of doing this over like a couple of months, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I didn't get the XP correctly. So I'm trying to time a level up. Here we go, right here. I didn't quite get it correct, but that wasn't too bad. Oh, come on. I'm so rusty. No. There we go.
So what you're telling me is I might have a fighting chance.
Oh, you definitely have a fighting chance, for sure. Oh, my jump button didn't go. Oh, no. Oh, panic. All right. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm way too familiar with that phrase. But I straight up have like an emote that is just, this is fine. And it's just Fire Kirby with everything on fire behind him.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to head into an area that you might not have even found if you played the definitive edition of the game casually. It didn't exist in vanilla, and then was added in DE, and it's called Blackroots Burrow. First, I'm gonna save, then I'm gonna remember how to do a trick. So I need to hit this button. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm moving behind the menu. I need 34 more to level up, and I think everything gives 12. So I don't want magnet. Okay. So I'm doing this to basically save anywhere. That's what we call the trick. So I'm going to save right at the start of a cutscene, and then save and quit, or like quit the game and come back into the game and skip the cutscene. It's a super powerful trick. And then I was questioning my amount of HP there because I'm going to kill a specific number of enemies here, and I have to have a specific amount of HP left to go at the end of this area. I need to be within 19 of a level up. And I don't want to go over, and because all the enemies are going to give me 12, quick math said that I needed to not take magnet because I needed to, in fact, not get all of the XP.
Okay, so to explain, since I'm seeing this in the chat, I'm running the same category, but death gets lower because it's one run instead of two, at least currently. And I started over because otherwise I was like 9 minutes in, and the estimates would have been kind of wonky for it.
Yeah, there was no way I was gonna compete with that.
But yes, currently Mr. Shasta is having some tech issues. Hopefully they get resolved soon, and if so, then this will be back to being 2 runs.
Yep, for sure.
Sadly, so far, the last update any of us know was he was restarting his router, but it hasn't yielded any results yet.
Yep. All right. Now here is where... Oh, no. Okay, cool. I made that cycle. Here in just a minute, I will find out if I did my XP manipulation correctly or if I am sad. and will hopefully not be sad.
Luckily, I seem to be getting close to being back to where I was.
Okay, doing this trick again. I am not sad.
That's always good.
I'm with it. I am at 10 XP from level up, so that's a pretty good number. I'm gonna move around during this cutscene if I can. Pretty sure this is where I want to stand.
It's totally Kirby. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I moved too quick. So I don't get to do the blind movement. That's okay. Now I get to zip around like you were talking about. I have dash now.
Oh yeah, now Ori gets very fast.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Very fast skill. Very good for playing the game fast. And now I have to do a trick called Frankie Walk. So I was setting up all of my XP in a very specific way to basically open a door that I'm not supposed to be able to open. So this game has like little energy doors that you're supposed to have a certain amount of energy to open them. This door that I'm needing to open requires 4 energy. I only have 2, but leveling up refills your health and energy, so I'm going to stick 2 energy in the door, and then I'm going to level up and stick 2 more energy in the door. Like that.
And now I'm finally into stuff that I didn't get to in earlier. So that room is very rough to deal with depending on who you're using. Thankfully 2 is one of the easier ones because every flap of its wing deals wind damage and that puts out fires. So for most of them it's like tricky navigation, trying not to get hit too many times in the process. For 2 it's just fly through the wood pretty much. And now we have one of the rare times where 2 is actually the better option for the mob because most of it is in the air and trying to attack with Rick isn't terribly viable. And we also have 2 enemies with fire shields at the end. As I mentioned earlier, 2 deals wind damage, so that gets rid of them instantly.
Minute, I'm going to do another ghost door. Now I'm going to get double jump.
And now Kirby is actually Ori.
So
I feel like that would be if I used the Mage Sister, since they actually, have the air dash.
I'm going to do some blind movement here. I think it's technically faster to do something else now, but I don't know the new fast stuff, so that's what I do. But that went pretty well. I got all the way to the wall, did pretty decent on that blind movement.
Okay, that triggered on a little better, but it's fine. That health is not actually not much of a concern.
Now another
What?
sequence break. Nice, got it.
I think it's interesting you're over here doing sequence breaks like you are, and I don't have that. I have to do it as the game intended, mostly.
Yeah, that's true. That's like kind of the cool thing about a game like Ori or like other Metroidvanias is like that you can sequence break, but your game is like raw speed. Like you have a very set path and you get to just like do it as fast as possible, which is like also very cool.
Unfortunately, I have never speedrun Ori, so I have 0 experience outside of watching runs. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have anything to compare on that one, unfortunately.
You should definitely you should play it. It's a great game.
I've thought about it, and honestly, it just came off a little bit daunting. I know for at least the PC version of the first one, it's usually kind of strict about rules, so it's kind of deterred me a little bit. I should try it anyways, though. Really, if there's one I want to try, it's actually the second one. That one I actually enjoyed even more.
Yeah, Will of the Wisp was a great casual game for sure. I didn't get into the runs like I did the first game, or definitive edition of the first game, but it was absolutely a fantastic casual game. I loved it.
In the meantime, we have finally reached our second boss, Meta Knight, and we're about to teach him an important lesson that rock beats scissors. Or in this case, rock beats sword. And unfortunately, we didn't quite get the quicker kill that we can. You can kill Meta Knight before he actually splits up, but that's fine. It's only a little slower. Oh, I think Shasta might be saying something. Hopefully that means things might be back up.
Find out. Oh no, oh no.
So if it comes down to me restarting the run again, that's fine. Today is surprisingly stuffed.
It's been a day. I think this is the thing I saved next to. Yeah, okay.
Bid outage. Okay. So yeah, not a lot to be done on that one, unfortunately. In the meantime, guess here's one of the few things I do go out of my way for. So you'll see me grab this key and do some tricky platforming with Rich. I don't have a choice in the matter. Rich's the only one who can carry the key. But it is very much worth it. You've been seeing these parts throughout. These ones give you a level in every stat. So they are very valuable. They're usually worth grabbing, even in this scenario. But yeah, as for Sean says, don't worry. Like, if they stick a pin in this probably won't be the last you see of me or him, and probably this.
Oh, I died in an awkward way, and now my screen is bugged. Oh no. Now my cycles are all off. Everything is.
Oh, that's always the worst.
Okay, alright. Made it.
They got away from me, that's fine. Okay, I'll just burn them. There we go.
Ouch, ouch. Oh no, I died. Now my screen is even worse.
The rusty Ori run.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and die again, that's fine. Yeah, so this split I used to have named I'm Sorry for how it was just bad, and like
I just see why now.
For any moderators that had to watch my runs and watch me just be
I can't actually see your run for obvious reasons, but I can relate, and I know the feeling. And I didn't mention it earlier, so that fight I went through is actually a returning boss from like, oh geez, that's lost how many years now? But they're from Dreamland 3. And they fight the same way as they did in that game, so they're kind of random where they come in and out, if they come out at all. They also both share the health bar, so you can actually, for certain Dream Friends, you can do really crazy strats that just kill them in like a couple of hits.
We don't a mini boss.
We don't quite have that, but we do have Rickroll, and Rickroll is good enough most of the time. Also very good for going down slopes, as that room just showed.
Oh, okay, cool. That wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, there will definitely be like Assuming Shots is on board, but we're definitely trying this again because this idea was really cool when I came up with it, and it's kind of a shame the internet kind of did what it did here.
Yeah,
maybe even a grudge match. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, you ever just dash face first into some spikes that kill you?
All the time.
I do that.
All the time. Pretty sure I did that a few times when I played through both games casually. Just like, oh, all this speedy movement, I want to go fast, and then, oh no, I'm going too fast. Ow.
That's relatable. Alright. If you've ever played Ori, this is a skill that you should be very familiar with. It's called Bash. It's what makes Ori stand out from basically any other video game. I have it now. I can go fast. But what's really cool about Bash, if you're a speedrunner, particularly one that uses keyboard and mouse, because it's a more difficult trick on controller, you can do a thing called double bashing. Let's see if I can pull it off. So instead of just sending me one direction and the projectile the other direction, I can send us both in the same direction, which is, oh, okay, well, that was bad. It's very useful for obvious reasons. Okay, well, I'm just going to stop doing it.
Is it bad that I actually did double bashes, like, almost immediately, because I figured that out very quickly?
Very good.
On controller?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I forgot to hold left when I came in this room, so now I have to wait an extra cycle. If I don't do that, this room has lots of crushers, and they will absolutely kill me. The KDL2 friends are considered, or classified as bid characters, so they have a bigger hitbox, and that means they get crushed easier. And I don't think anybody wants to watch the cute hamster get squished.
Duplicate some keys real quick by dying with them in the door there. That was not enough keys, question mark? Huh. That's interesting. I think I have to do another key dupe. Or just die some more, that's fine. This is...
The eternal conundrum. Do I just do this trick again or die?
So cursed. Well, the thing is like, because of a save, I think I have to do the trick again to like have enough keys since I was jeez. No, don't. I put too many in the door. No.
That sounds even worse, actually.
Things are going horribly wrong.
I mean, it's fine. You don't have to worry too much. I'm just doing another friend train segment because we've only got to the second one.
No, don't open the door. Nope, I'm dead. I'm dying. Oh, jeez. This is...
Or he just looked at it like I'm dying, Rick.
This is not a situation that I wanted to find myself in. But here I am. There we go. Okay. I now have more keys than I need, which is fine. Why won't you let me rekindle my save? Please let me save. Please let me save. Okay, well, here goes nothing. It didn't let me save. We're just gonna be nice and safe and careful. Pick up all these.
This Ori run sounds amazing.
It's something. All right.
Or it sounds like something, all right.
I'm just gonna bash this mini boss's own projectile at it because that makes it die real fast. And then we're not gonna do the Ginso escape. I'm sorry, everyone that loves the music. It's not happening. We're just
these stations are the best part.
You're not wrong. We're leaving the water dirty though.
I mean, fair, but also disappointing. I get it though. It's slow. It's slow. We gotta go fast. Unfortunately, the water's just gonna have to wait.
Yep, exactly. Alright, that should be a level up. Okay. Let's see if I remember. I think I'll go this way.
Also, for the uninitiated, rock also beats fear, I guess. It makes sense in context, trust me.
Now I get to play with Ringo, who is an interdimensional frog. I'll explain why his name is Ringo on the return trip. For now, just know that his name is Ringo and that frogs in this game are interdimensional. Sometimes they just phase through solid objects. Sometimes the things they shoot at you phase through solid objects. I took damage. I'm going to go ahead and just die. This trick is probably the second most difficult trick in the game. It's called Swamp Entry. Come on, get up there. Yes, okay, cool. Basically, I need to use one of Ringo's shots to open this section of ceiling over here because I don't have, the ability to do it myself. But it will let us get into the swamp. Oh, why didn't you move? No! It'll let us get into the swamp without doing the water shenanigans. So that's pretty good if I could do it.
Alright, since I haven't been explaining a lot over the last while, so short version of a lot of what went on. Coup and Cutter is very strong. Breaking Stone is very strong. And Titan actually does have a few uses in mobs. Also, we grabbed Tandy because the Tandy Breaking Stone movement speed a lot. And just completely kills that mini-boss, so we don't have to do anything. We just stand there, wait for it to die, throw a heart at it, and get rid of it. He was our friend for all of like a second.
That was a terrible day.
And now we're about to roll into 2 more trees. Like, you know him, you love him, it's with B, he's bad. For some reason. We'll just roll into him a few more times. Alright, that's Wispy. You'll note that I said 2 trees, and that's because this is not the only one. We're just gonna keep flying through this room, there's still more to it. So this is Yiddy Woods, totally not Wispy. He's old. He also goes down to the same strat of just rolling into him a bunch.
I also just did things with a tree. I went and got the stomp tree. Oh, and now we can see why this frog is named Ringo. When you bash him backwards, he starts drumming. Don't know why he makes that sound, but it's a great sound. Let's see, I don't need to save yet. I need to save up here. I'm going to do a trick that if I do it right, you just won't see anything. And if I do it wrong, you'll see a little cutscene. The likelihood of me doing it right is very low. All right, I did it wrong. So you get to watch a cutscene. So that's okay. Oh no, that's water. That's poison water. Get me out of that.
Maybe, Ori would benefit from getting a sunfish friend.
Okay, alright. Those spikes that I just almost touched do like 9,000 damage. So you don't want to touch those. There are not 9,000 health cells in the game. You will die.
Oh, also, I hope you like boss recolors, because this is Goldon and Silva. They're totally not pawn in time.
Oh, I messed up. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I have to set up another save anywhere real quick. I was going to do it during the tree cutscene, but I messed up. I brought this little frog friend down here so I can get out more quickly. Now I'll skip a big cutscene here.
Unfortunately, these two are they're also more random than the original saves. Much more they can do, so they're not quite just a recolor, but they are mostly a recolor that are just slightly harder. And now it's time for our old friend, the giant Waddle-Dee Katamari Ball, which does a lot of damage if you actually hit it, so don't want to touch those.
I have most of my useful skills now. Geez. I need to level up another skill a little bit more to get the charge dash, which will really make me go fast. But I do have air dash now. I have stomping and double jumping and lots of good things that make order go
it sounds
very
like
quickly.
yeah, but it sounds like you've got a lot of the stuff you're gonna need now.
Do another tree.
These next couple of rooms are completely uneventful. It's just going to be 2 flights through them, look at the pretty scenery, potentially listen to the pretty music, the remix of Rainbow Resort.
Oh, that looked kind of low. So now I'm kind of just... Oh, geez. That's unfortunate. Alright, I think I actually have to just... I don't know the backup. So I got this first half of that trick, which was throwing a spider shot at a pile of rocks to make them fall on the bird. Problem is I flubbed my movement and didn't get to the ability cell that I absolutely have to get to in order to have enough ability cells. So there we go. So that's what it's supposed to look like.
I swear, it sounds like you did something really fancy, and all I did was mash the jump and up buttons a lot. Just to go up slightly faster. It doesn't even speed you up that much.
And now I have charge dash, which means I now can do my favorite trick in the game, which is called rocket jumping, like this.
I feel like I'm familiar with. I feel like I've probably seen that before, or done it without thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also do it downwards, and that's called a meteor kick. And now I'm doing the hardest trick in the game, called sorrow bash. So normally, to get through this little passage, you would do so after doing Forlorn Ruins, which would mean there would be wind. Oh, I had it and I forgot to hit a button. There's no wind right now, which means all these spikes that do more damage than I have health are just looming there, ready to kill me. Also, they kill the birds, so you just have to very carefully navigate the birds and your little self through this area, and it's very difficult. So I might be here for a little bit.
You know, it's really funny you mentioned wind and spikes. That's pretty much what 2 is just done here in this entire, like, several stage mob rush. The cutter has a wide enough arc that it can hit multiple enemies, and in that case, the fastest way to do it is to hit them into the spikes, so the spikes kill them. So the very thing that the average is trying to avoid here was actually the thing I needed to do. Also, everybody knows Trapper, right? Like, you know, did Thundercloud was not the last.
Alright, there we
Went
go.
down really fast though, so now Trapper's strategy to deal with us is to become 2. Because 2 is clearly better than 1, right? Well, the upside is there is two Krakos, but the problem is there's two Krakos, and that makes it even easier to deal with. If you're familiar with Mage Sisters runs, it's even funnier because you fight the parallel bosses in that one. So parallel Krakos starts with 2, which you just take out with their special attack. Krakos like, okay, 2 ain't working, let's go back to 1, and then you take it out almost as fast after it becomes 1 bit cloud. So no, if you're wondering, Krako does not catch a break.
That was the door that I had to do that key dupe for earlier, and I have 2 extra keys now because I messed it up and had to do it an extra time.
Hey, the extra keys were coming in clutch now.
Oh, those are spikes. Those hurt.
Don't touch those.
Yeah, this area has had many names throughout the community. This area specifically, we've called it the Dorito Caves. We've called it the Sunship Caverns. They've had all sorts of names.
The Sunship Caverns, wait, what?
Yeah, they're spiky, they hurt, and it's just no.
No, I didn't see it. That sounds like Sunships if you're not careful about chewing them. That's exactly what happens. No, I can see it. Same for Doritos, honestly. So no, never mind. You know what? The community has good names for this.
That was a little thing called a Terra break. Basically, I did a save anywhere up against a breakable ceiling and then used charge jump and died while charge jumping to basically carry the charge jump breaking abilities into the respawn. I think is how it works. That's what I'm going to say at least.
Sunships do sound good, but yeah, if you're not careful chewing them, those things hurt.
Alright, so I have the Sunstone. I now theoretically can beat the game, but because this category is called All Skills, I still have a little bit of work to do. I have to go get the last skills that I don't have yet.
I'll be honest, I didn't know what category you were doing. I thought you were doing 80%.
Yeah, so any percent does exist, and it's very fast, but the most fun and most popular category is all skills. Because any percent is not exactly the best viewing experience. That save anywhere trick that I've been doing, any percent is mostly just behind that, which isn't I don't know if I actually needed to get that or not. That might have been randomizer brain. Anyway, the entire, okay, I don't need that. Run being behind a save anywhere is not.
No, that's more than fair.
Oh, jeez.
Meanwhile, I've dealt with what's probably more or less the actual final boss of this, the twin Kawasakis, which are surprisingly difficult to actually deal with because they both like to jump and grab you with their ladle, and it's very not fun when that happens. Believe me when I say I made that fight look easier than it usually is, especially if you're playing this casually. That fight is rough. That fight is rough, and it's very easy to die there. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted to do, but we'll take Rip jumping on the enemy. That's fine.
So every time I do a charge dash, theoretically it should use an energy, but as long as I stomp or bash an enemy or do something basically to cancel it before the very end, it won't consume that energy. So that's something that you'll see me do a lot. Also, that was neat. This place hurts a lot. So that's why I went ahead and used that last energy to save. But that's sort of what separates really good runners from runners like me, is their ability to not save and therefore use that energy to just go fast. Because saving doesn't really lose time in Ori because you can literally do it while moving. It's just a matter of it costing energy, so you can theoretically use that energy to go fast instead if you won't die. Oh, that wasn't great.
Finally, to one of the final mob rushes of this whole thing, and you'll notice that this one I've actually used all three of the friends a little bit. That's because fire's really good for these big like totem waddle or big like Trojan Ds. 2 is really good for dealing with certain other enemies because of the parasol. Time's really good to cancel the parasol, and you know the only reason we actually use them. Time unfortunately suffers from Flamberge a little bit. And that Time doesn't get a lot of uses, but this time is at least... It's because Time doesn't get to do a lot out of the water.
Oh, jeez.
What makes a fun run? Honestly, for me, it's usually a lot of the time it's the movement in general or just the mechanics of the run. Like, I like this one a lot because you get to switch between... You end up using all three of the friends to a decent degree, even though Time's limited. And it's honestly really fun to try to figure out what works, what doesn't. How can I, like, optimize my movement and things in general. It's something that would show up more with Adeline, and... honestly, if and when Shasta and I are able to actually do this proper, you will see that in detail, because Adeline is the strongest last cannon you didn't know existed.
Well, I'm dead again.
Because on one hand, Adeline has the lowest health of any Dream Friend in the game. By a lot, like she is surprisingly frail. But she dishes out probably one of the highest amounts of damage of any character in the game.
Oh my goodness, no. I killed a... Oh, okay, I'm dead again. I killed a frog that I wasn't supposed to kill. Or a frog.
I also...
Then I died, and now I'm stuck. There we go.
I also tend to prefer shorter runs, just because it's a little less frustrating if, say, something... If, say, like, you do a long run and things go wrong a lot, it can get rough.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die in the same place 1,000 times, apparently. No! Okay. Alright. Here we go.
Although now I'm curious, since it was asked in the chat, what makes a fun run for you, C?
For me, typically like movement. So a couple of like my favorite speed games are this, and then Spider-Man on the PS4, PS5. Those spikes murder me.
I could see that with how you like web sling and stuff in that game.
Yeah, that game has some super fun movement. And yeah, I mean, I also tend to like runs that are more in like the 30 to 40 minute area. I've done shorter. Bastion is, like 5 minutes. And then Spider-Man is 3 hours.
How is Bastion 5 minutes? That's a new development. I remember that being a longer run.
The any percent is 5 minutes. Hold on, I have to focus real quick. If I do this right, you won't see the mini boss. There we go. Okay, there were 2 mini bosses. They're gone now. Anyway, yeah, you can do some menu storage stuff in Bastion and just make that game.
You just break the game over. You break the game over your knee. Got it.
Yeah. You just pick up all the shards at the very beginning, and then you just put them all in at once, and then it's over. But yeah, so I've kind of been all over the place. I am somebody that learns a lot of runs and then doesn't actually like do runs of them. So I just I have fun learning them, and then.
Oh, that's a mood, or it's like, I might want to learn this game, and then I never actually do it.
All right, well, I'm going to have to save here anyway. Yeah, I do that a lot. And then I've been all over the place with runs. I've done Pokemon stuff a little bit. I've done Bastion, Ori, Spider-Man, just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, for me, it's mostly been Kirby, but I have finally started doing some other stuff. I've been learning VVVVV for another marathon coming up. That one's been interesting.
Yeah,
that was really also cool. That was also a very short run. It's like, if you're really good at it, it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I am not that good. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. You'll get there.
Also, now that I'm in this final area here, we're about to have some KDL 2 references. This is effectively... the start of this was like 7-1, Dark Castle. And then we just went straight to 7-7. And with that, the whole puzzle of like, I need this ability to do this thing. In this case, we also need certain elements to go with it. So this is why I gave them both wins. We needed to cut a flaming chain and then hit a fan. And now they're done. So we're going to dismiss all of our friends. We don't need them anymore, finally. And if the audio is in this area, you will notice that this plays the KDL 2 title screen music. Which, by the way, if you want to play that, it is on NSO now as of the 15th, as of yesterday.
I have my last skill, so I'm just gonna make my way downtown, walking fast.
That's me with the final set of bosses here. So we finally have our Zan rematch.
Alright. Activated the swamp teleporter earlier just for this. I can just go there and head to the final dungeon. So if you're keeping track at home, I did most of Ginso Tree. I just didn't do the escape. We did not touch Forlorn at all. And then Horu's also going to be interesting. We'll touch it, but we will skip the entirety of the dungeon with a wrong word, basically. That's not the direction I wanted to go.
So I actually did damage on this faster than I intended, so things are going a little bit wonky, but it's fine. So Highness has a couple of phases. One is he does like attacks from above, kind of, but we take him down really quickly. The second phase, he'll throw the sisters at you. Again, we did that way too quick, so we didn't even get to do anything. And then he tries to attack you with the friend circle, which you actually got to see. And that is me pressing the start button a little too fast. So, if you've wondered why Kirby fans have a deep-seated fear of the orange butterflies, this is why. This is Morpho Knight. It is basically the Grim Reaper. He also goes down very quickly to 2.
Alright. So this is Horu. I'm going to try...
Also, time for me will you come in after the results when you show up.
There we go. I got the door work first try. So basically, I have to hit the up button to re-enter the door the first frame that oh my gosh, please game. The first frame that the game loads, which
and
tough, but GG. I'm in my final escape now. So that was actually pretty close.
That's actually pretty close. That worked out.
That's nice.
That kind of worked out then.
We'll see. We'll see how long it takes me to get out of this final dungeon.
But yeah, normally this category uses in-game time, but obviously we're using real time because if you're doing like a marathon or like something like GD2 Hotfits, you want real time. Real time's more important in that case. Which I'm pretty sure that would be something around like a 46, I think. But by my time differential, pretty much right.
All right, because we didn't clean the water. This water. No. Oh, I'm not dead.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's gonna be brutal now because of the water.
All right, I made it. All right. So now I just have to make the bird not spawn. All right, cool. So I actually took an extra health. Really good runners will only take 5 health and they'll get through there like that. I had an extra health, and now I'm going to try and grenade jump. Cool.
46, 26. Okay. Yeah, that's almost exactly 13 minutes, which, yeah, that actually is pretty much about right for the difference between load times in this game and in-game time. This game, unfortunately, has very long loading times, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna mess around in this credit area with the enemies.
Yeah, so I did there at the end when I was up against the wall, I did a little trick called a grenade jump where I enter a grenade and a charged jump a frame apart from each other and go real fast, and that skips half of the final cutscene and time. So there we go. So I got to skip half the final cutscene. You can use those grenade jumps all over the place to go really fast. They're just really tight and hard to hit since they're a frame perfect trick. They're really cool though, and they're really useful in randomizer. And we have an accessibility setting in randomizer to just do them as well if you want to. So it's really neat. But yeah, that was Ori.
That was Ori, and for now, that was also Kirby Star Allies, I guess. Unfortunately, since Shasta's internet is still going through its outage, unfortunately. But that is fine. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he and I will try to set up a way to try this again and hopefully give this the run it deserved.
Well, while we're just kind of waiting to get things to the next show, why don't you just go ahead and shout out where everyone can find you, talk about your content a little. We got some time
sure
to kill
thing.
here for sure.
In my case, you can find me at twitch.tv/Darksol188. It would have not had the 1, but I made dumb mistakes, and we'll just leave it at that. Anyways, I tend to do a lot of Kirby stuff, some Pokemon stuff here and there, some casual stuff here and there too. So far, my main things have been this game. I'm actually, apart from these two, I've also been learning to make systems for a series relay we're going to be having next month. And apart from that, also VVVVVV, I'm learning that game for a different marathon. If any of that sounds like a fun time, definitely feel free to check me out and follow and send a follow. Otherwise, let me give a shout out to Shasta, despite the internet issues. Honestly, fantastic runner. Does lots of Kirby stuff himself. He's currently doing a thing called DS Destruction, where he's trying to beat every single DS game that's been released in North America. He's like, I think 50 or 60 games in. Wow. And there's been some interesting games in that, so definitely check that out. It's been interesting. Otherwise, I think that's it for the shoutouts other than the Kirby community itself. If you're curious about this game or any others, we do have a Discord server. You can find it on speedrun.com/Kirby. Pretty much any of the games on there, aside from a few, will link to that server. He and I are both in there a lot. We'd be happy to have you. Yeah. But yeah, don't worry. This will come back. This run will happen.
For sure. We'll figure something out. And yeah, if any of you want to see Shasta do some of this stuff, he just had an All-Stars or a Star Allies run this past AGDQ. You could go check that out on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, check that out too. It's a really good run.
Yeah. And I guess since I was doing a run, I didn't really get to talk about any of the announcements that I need to talk about.
Yeah, maybe do that.
So, just in case you aren't aware, SGDQ 2023 is coming up. That'll be May 28th through June 4th. It is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you're interested in attending the event, the registration is open now, and it's open until May 3rd. And your offsite volunteer submissions, if you're interested in being an offsite volunteer for something like chat moderation or social media, those offsite volunteer applications are open now until the 22nd. So you still got a little while for that. But make sure you get those in if you're interested for sure. And you can find all that information on gamesdonequick.com. Also, I just did mention YouTube for finding Shasta's AGQ run. But, if you're somebody that's watching the VOD of this race on YouTube, don't forget that if you want to catch our live content, you can find us at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick on weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to have you over here, supporting the stream. So I think that's all I have for announcements. Just real quick, I will go ahead and shout out the Ori community a little bit. Great community. Absolutely. This game is this was my first speed running love. It's the game I always go back to. And it's like a run I'll never forget, basically. I haven't run this in over a year. So I was like, well, we need some time, right? So let's grab something. And this, it's great that it's that kind of run that I can just pick up and do again. If you're somebody that likes randomizers, this game has an expansive randomizer and community. Aiko and everyone else that has worked on that randomizer, it's such a labor of love. It's incredible. Both games are supported. If you enjoy Will of the Wisp over Blind Forest, check it out. I believe that is just orirando.com, unless that has changed on me. Let me double check here. It's possible. There we go. Yeah. So orirando.com. If you're interested in the randomizer, there's tons of instructions there to get things set up. So yeah, I think that's all I've got. We are going to go ahead and cut this stream just a little early tonight, but we'll be back later on at 10 p.m. Eastern for Grudge Match. So, take yourself a little break, but make sure you come back for Grudge Match later tonight and check that out. So thank you all for watching. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go on.
I should say thank you all for watching. And, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another What's Faster. But yeah, that's all for me.
And for me as well. Other than as far as the YouTube, just to add to the YouTube thing, also I've had it run in GDQ that you can find as well. Kirby's Adventure, that was also a fun run.
Awesome, yeah. Definitely check that out as well. Get all your Kirby speedrunning content.
Yeah, right. I'm curious about the Grudge Match. I don't know what it is, so that'll be interesting when that starts.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out at 10 p.m.
Yeah, in that case, thanks for having me in the meantime. Thanks for the GG. And yeah, decent race. Hope to get the proper one sooner or later.